RWBY. I know it, you probably know it, or you've seen the RWBY video on it. Something that gets brought up a lot since that video are the similarities between RWBY and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've seen a lot of people bring up the similarities between RWBY and Avatar. Hell, I even had a coworker who said that RWBY felt like an Avatar knockoff. It has been confirmed by Miles Luna, the head writer of RWBY, that they were inspired by Avatar when making RWBY. The similarities are clear, but if I were to bring them up, it would just be restating the RWBY video, and you should go watch his video if you haven't already. I think a lot of people are missing another picture. There's another property that RWBY took a lot of influence from, and people don't seem to point it out. That property is the PS1 classic, Final Fantasy VIII. Before I continue, I must say there will be spoilers for both FF8 and RWBY going forward. Additionally, while some of these I noticed myself, a couple were pointed out to me by user Killer Swiller on the RWBY subreddit. Now for the comparison. In RWBY, there are 4 academies for training huntsmen and huntresses. Those academies are Beacon, Haven, Atlas, and Shade. At these academies, students are trained to fight the Grimm. Part of the training involves sending teams of students on live fire missions. In FF8, there are 3 academies where students are trained to be mercenaries. These academies are named after their corresponding locations and are called gardens. There's Balam Garden, where the game begins, Galbadia Garden, and Trebia Garden. Those who graduate from these gardens are called Seeds. As part of the training, students are also sent on live fire missions. Both RWBY and FF8 have train heists involving a woman with black hair. In RWBY, it's Blake, and in FF8, it's Renoa. In both RWBY and FF8, there is a nation that is centuries ahead in terms of technology and military. In RWBY, it's Atlas with the advanced technology and military. FF8 has the secret nation of Estar, which is more advanced than every other nation in the game. For the first few volumes of RWBY, it's thought that the main villain is Cinder, but it's revealed that Cinder is working for the much more powerful villain Salem. Until like halfway through FF8, it's thought that Edea is the main villain. Then it's revealed that she was being controlled by an even more powerful sorceress named Ultimecia. In both RWBY and FF8, there was a mass extinction event that occurred thousands of years prior to the story and was caused by supernatural forces. In RWBY, it's the departure of the gods of light and darkness. In FF8, it's the Lunar Cry. In both RWBY and FF8, there is a special type of power that can only be inherited by women, and those women must be protected. In RWBY, it's the Maidens, and in FF8, it's the Sorceress powers, as seen with Renoa and Alone. In FF8, the nation of Galbadia has a garden where they train their students to serve their nation rather than to be mercenaries for others. In RWBY, Atlas Academy trains its students to protect Atlas exclusively. Finally, in FF8, for part of the game, the main villain is a sorceress named Edea and is revealed to be the wife of Balam Garden headmaster Sid. Now, in RWBY, the main villain is Salem and is a sorceress. She is also the ex-wife of Beacon headmaster Ozpin. Additionally, both Sid and Ozpin began their academies because they had to train warriors to fight against Edea and Salem respectively, and they kept secret that they knew the true origin of their respective worlds' conflicts. You may say, but Anomaly, it might all just be a coincidence. I would agree with you, but here's the thing. We know Monty Ohm, the original creator of RWBY, was a fan of Final Fantasy. Prior to making RWBY, Monty did a series called Dead Fantasy, where it was the women of Final Fantasy versus the women of Dead or Alive. In Dead Fantasy 2, Renoa appears using her Angel Wing Limit Break, which is an ability she gets late into the game. I think this is decent evidence that Monty had played through FF8 and took some influence from it when planning the story of RWBY. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down below. Source out.